the love runs deep. The fam stay strong. And the bells, they always ring for us. We the bells and we hold it down. Yeah, real ones only, we don't mess around. All love, no cap, no clout to chase. Just truth in the chat and respecting the space. It's family, MOCA got that heart of gold. From the south to the stream, we brave and bold. You ain't gotta pick sides or play a role. Just show a real and you already home. Pull up to the bells and bows like a Sunday seed. Got peace in the room and a vibe on beat. No drama, no mess, just minds that meet. Introduce yourself in the chat and the mods gon' greet. Real talk, we got brothers and sisters here. Ain't no fake love, every heart sincere. We've been through storms, but the skies stay clear. Loyalty live, that's the chant you hear. Woo! No chaos in the comment section. Just bells with a bond and a bold connection. Safe space, strong face, deep reflection. MOCA, don't fold, that's pure protection. If you ever felt unheard, misunderstood, pull up in the chat, we treat you good. Ain't gotta be loud, just gotta be true. MOCA got the light and we shine with you. Not a panel of pain, it's a platform of pride. Everybody got space and we don't divide. You loyal, you love, that's how we ride. Got a bell and a bow in the name, but a tribe world. From the mods to the lurkers and folks on rewatch. Every tap, every like, we feel it alive. MOCA ain't just a name, it's a vibe you caught. No label, no labels, that's a family, not a thought. Bring it loud, we the bells and we hold it down. Yeah, we do. Real ones only, we don't mess around. Real talk, all love, no cap, no clout to chase. Just truth in the chat and respecting the space. It's family, MOCA got that heart of gold. From the south to the stream, we brave and bold. You ain't gotta pick sides or play a role. To show a real and you already home. MOCA said that to every bell in the space. Whether you typing, watching, or just vibing, you are this family. And over here, we don't fold, we ring. Ooh, welcome to MOCA's Nola Bells and Bows.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday, guys. Happy Thursday. And as always, it's always a good thing to log in and see you all sitting on the porch and waiting on MOCA. Hope you all had an awesome day today. Y'all saw the title, y'all saw the thumbnail. So you all know why we are here tonight. We're going to talk about the auto shop. We're going to talk about the auto shop that Annette avoided. And we want to know why she avoided it. And who was really there that night. And not only that night, guys, but all of those other days and nights that these little girls were sent to see the mechanic. The shop connection, y'all. The shop connection. Were they really working on cars? Or was it a front? Believe me, something is stink in the oil. They're all connected. Because from all that we know, all that we've heard, and all that we've seen in the last 2 years, 2 months, and 10 days now, Annette, Shannon, Marquita, there should be charges on you all dragging like monkey tails. Child endangerment, child neglect, perjury, and the list goes on and on. But nonetheless, neither here nor there. Everybody just keep dancing and skating around that shop, mentioning it, bringing it up, and then just moving past it like that's not a big part of the problem. Like it's something that we're just not supposed to talk about. And we want to know why the shop, of all places, was the place that Annette chose to avoid that night. Why was that a place that Annette chose to avoid that night? That was a choice. And y'all better believe that she did not avoid that shop for no reason. That was a choice. I ain't going over there. That was her attitude. But there was a reason why she chose not to go there. And when you start paying attention, it all comes together. What did she know was going on at that shop? Who did she know was at that shop? Was she there? Because let's be real, she left at 3 o'clock and didn't return till after 6. Why not show up, Annette? Why not be present, Annette? Now all of a sudden, you want to start creating distance. And in my opinion, that's usually for one or two reasons. Now you want to distance yourself. You don't want the world to know that you've been there. But that's a little too late because, ma'am, you were the one that was sending those children there. You were going to let the world believe that you didn't know what was going on inside of there. You had to have known, especially when those kids came home and reported to both you and to Shannon and to Marcus how they were being molested. Y'all told them to shut up. Something about that shop don't sit right with us as outsiders. And y'all sit comfortably accepting what happened there. And I ain't just talking about the shop itself, but let's talk about the people that's connected to it. Shannon, Annette, Marquita, King, Jarvis, Frank, and the timing of it all. And how fast people right now is trying to move past it. Nah, we ain't doing that. Not at all. We're going to slow this shit all the way down tonight. And we're going to talk about that shop. The reason that it was there, the reason it existed, and what it was really meant to be. What really happened at that auto shop, y'all? Because the more you start lining up the connections, the people, the silence, the movement, we just can't ignore that. We just cannot ignore that. I see you all. I see you all. Welcome to the chat on this good old Thursday evening. We're not here for a long time, but we damn sure make the best of the time that we do have here. Marty, I see you, my love. Tony, I see you. Anastasia, Wendy, Karen, welcome, my love. Tiffany, I see you, boo. Simone, Gigi, Drag Racing, Beautiful Soul, I see you. My girl PJ's up in here. Big Mama, I see you, boo. Simone, welcome to the chat. Cynthia Harmon, Kimberly Earls, welcome, welcome, welcome. Big Mama, I see you, boo. She said it's definitely a front. Why have 7 and 8 shops in such a small area? Now most are closed and now under new names. What's the new names? Damn good question. So why do you feel, why do you feel now that all of this has come to the surface? Why do you feel now that you have to change the name? We're going to get into it. Nola Bells and Bows, I see y'all pulling up. Go ahead on and hit that like button for your girl real quick. And if you're in the building, make sure you tap those emojis on the side, so YouTube knows that your girl is live again tonight. Here we're family. No big eyes, no little U's. All opinions are welcome and to be respected. If you're new over here, come on, baby. Jump out the clouds. Hit that subscribe button and you can come sit on the porch and have this conversation. Because over here we talk. Over here we ask questions. And over here we don't just let stuff slide past us like it makes sense when it don't. Not appreciated if you don't keep this to yourself. Go ahead on and share the stream out. Send it to somebody. Because tonight we asking some questions. Before I move one step further, and if you in here and you already feel like something about this situation, this shop ain't sitting right with you, drop some eyes in the chat. Because one thing about this porch, we don't do surface level here. We go deeper than what's being said. And tonight we're going to go just a little deeper. I'm going to get this disclaimer out of the way because y'all know me. Everything I'm discussing tonight is based on what's already been put out there. I ain't making nothing up and adding to it. I'm speaking on what's already out there. And I want you to know that we're protected under the Copyright Act of 1976. Fair use, baby. This is my commentary, your commentary. I see the eyes. I see the eyes. Thank you, ladies. Now let's get into it. Let's get into it. Big Mama said it's a front. You got them many shots in such a small area. That should have raised the alarm long time ago. Long time ago, it should have raised an alarm. But when everybody's crooked, Anonymous, I see you, baby. When everybody's crooked, they'll go along with the program because their palms are getting greased. Their palms are getting greased. Essie, I see you, my love. Cynthia Harmon says, MOCA, I think her ass was there. She knew what was going on there, and it was not a shop for chorus. It was a shop for trafficking. Cynthia Harmon, let me tell you something, sister. You are not the only one that feels that way. You're not the only one that's thinking that way. Because the proof is definitely in the pudding. You know how many pictures I've seen of the inside of that shop? Jarvis Butts posing in pictures. But not the ironic, but the funny thing is, the pictures in which he posed, there were little girls inside those cars, sitting in the driver's seat. And I'm like, how could this have gone on for so long? I believe, and I know y'all do too, that Annette knew everything that went on at that shop. Carla Henry, I see you, my love. Cool girl sister, welcome. Gloria, welcome to the chat. Big Mama said he's losing business. And to keep the heat off of him since Jarvis brought too much attention. Absolutely. That was the reason for him going to that courthouse. A straight front. Absolutely, Kimberly Earls. Kimberly Earls said because he's been found out. He's been found out. But he can't hide. Wendy, welcome, boo. He can't hide from this. There's no way. Levesque, welcome, welcome. Charlotte Stewart, welcome, my love. Natasha, I see you, baby. So here we go. We know Annette, Shannon, Marquita, they're all know. And they all are hiding, covering up things, and have not said what should be said. John Knight, welcome to the chat, my love. Things that could have been said not only to save NAZIYAH, but to save those other children as well. They remain hush mouth in it all. We're not going to sit up here and be quiet. Not with a situation like this. We just cannot. Because how many more children have to get lost in the sauce? How many more children have to go through situations like this when you find people like Kim Worthy, DPD, CPS, handing children to Annette as if it's a prize out of a Cracker Jack box? That's not the way this goes. And the system should be ashamed of themselves. So, all right, boom, let's stop playing and get straight into it, that auto shop, because that's the one place that the focus should have been on in the first place. I've heard prosecutors, I heard testimonies, I've heard every damn thing. One thing we never heard, Lady D, welcome, baby. One thing we never heard, those investigators, so say detectives, one thing we never heard is them saying anything of evidence of no sort that they pulled from that shop. Leanne, welcome. Unless I missed it. And if you all heard any such thing of what they confiscated from that shop, please let me know. Please let me know. You start connecting these pieces, listening closely, listening to the things that they said. The shop keeps popping up. Keeps popping up. How does a place like that, how does a place like that becomes a place where kids are going? Not only in broad daylight are they going there, but they're going there at night. Around grown ass men. And Annette, Shannon, and Marquita, to them that's normal behavior. That shit ain't normal. That ain't normal. That ain't casual. And that ain't, oh no, they just stopped by. That ain't any type of situation. That's a setup for something. And now we know what it was, a setup for what. And I'm trying to figure out why, Shannon, why, Annette, why, Marquita, was that even allowed in the first place? Because when you got Marquita, Marcus, with that wide bobble ass head and them big old ass nostrils, and them Dollar Tree readers sitting up there when she was questioned, she was asked why you didn't go to the shop. Her word was, I'm not a man. So Marquita, bring your ass here, because if you're not a man, bitch, clearly your daughter ain't one either. So why would you send her there? Levesque, I see you, boo. Portia, welcome, welcome. How is it that you could say you ain't going to the shop, but you could send your daughter to the shop? Make it make sense, ma'am. Make it make sense. Y'all are sad. Big Mama said their entire police force is filled with new and retired ex-offender cops. Absolutely. Girl, I saw that on the news today, it was sent to me. I hadn't seen it, but when it was sent to me, I went to it and I'm like, well, look at this. And y'all know we're going to talk about it. But my thing is, how does she show herself? How does Kim Worthy show herself when it's breaking news? But don't show herself to show receipts, to show what she's uncovered, to show us proof. Now, y'all know, when I saw that, y'all know my mind went straight to hell with that one. Trina, welcome, baby. Y'all know Mocha's mind went straight to hell when she saw that. And y'all know what I thought, right? I'm going to tell y'all what I thought. I said, oh. I said, oh. I said, Jarvis gave up a little breadcrumb. I said, Jarvis dropped a little piece of information. And let me tell you what made me say that. Look at my sis, Charlotte Webb. Hey, boo, welcome. Thank you for joining tonight. Let me tell you all what I said. I said, Jarvis dropped some breadcrumbs. And what made me say that? This ex-police officer was arrested in North Carolina. Jarvis Butts has history in North Carolina. Jarvis Butts has received mail in North Carolina. Jarvis Butts has had an address in North Carolina. So now we're connecting dots. Now we're connecting dots, baby. And that's what I saw. That's what I saw. I don't know what nobody else see. But I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll get to that when I get to that. So in my mind, I do believe he dropped a few crumbs. And y'all know what? It don't end right there. There are more crumbs to be dropped. There are more crumbs to be dropped, and I do believe that he dropped them. Because look at it. This man has been retired for how long? And Kenworthy, you go get your ass up there and say this has been years worth of investigation. Ma'am, stop lying. Stop lying. Because how ironic is it? How ironic. I told y'all Jarvis had to give up something in order to get what he got. And he's given up something. Miss Jackson, welcome, love. Levette said, Mocha, on my mama. I believe Nina Twins Jarvis was all there when it went down at that shop. Absolutely. Levette, me too. Me too. And that's why, Levette, that's why she wouldn't go to the shop. Hey, Chris, welcome. Patrina, welcome, my love. Lady D said that's how they was getting paid off them babies. Absolutely, Lady D. Absolutely. Wendy said, Mocha, I thought this girl, I went the same direction you did with that Lady D. It wasn't looking good. The timing was all off. I mean, you sitting up there, ex-sergeant here arrested for serial charges just like Jarvis Butts. He got the exact charges Jarvis got. Y'all don't think spicy. Welcome, boo. Y'all don't think, man, look, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Cynthia Harmon says, Mocha, I'm not going to be okay until Annette and them Sasquatch twins get arrested. Their day is coming. Big Mama said the fact that she explained the vulgar, nasty acts of the cop. Totally unnecessary for evening news. As adults, we know Grape is. Girl, look, she went too deep into details, trying to make herself look good. And as you say, it was very unnecessary. Very unnecessary. But once again, she had to prove a point. She had to do what she did, just like she did with Jarvis Butts when she first came out. She did too much. But I still want to know why she didn't put her face in the front line when Jarvis got convicted. Kim Worthless needs to be under investigation, y'all. This lady is doing too much and she's doing it too foul. She's wrong with everything that she does. Now, whomever this police officer is, been retired all these years, whomever he is, at the good old ripe age that he is, he needs to sound the alarm on her. Kenyatta, I see you, boo. Happy Thursday, boo. Big Mama, New York, North Carolina, Florida, Atlanta. He got family everywhere. Everywhere. Miss Jackson said, Mocha, you think Jarvis dropped a dime? FBI needs to go to Detroit. Absolutely. He dropped one, boo. He dropped several dimes. Several. Chris, I'm with you, boo. Cornell, welcome to the chat, boo. Hope all is well. Hope mama is doing well. Chandra, welcome, baby. Look at my sister Platinum hit the stage. Hey, boo. Happy Thursday. Chris says, I believe they coming back for that grandma and auntie. I hope the hell they do. And the thing is with this shop, y'all, I just don't like how this shit keep getting brushed past us like it don't matter. Ain't no way in the hell kids just repeatedly keep showing up at a goddamn auto shop during the day, late at night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with grown ass men, and nobody, I mean nobody, attempted to stop that shit. No, Annette, I'm not buying it. Shannon, I'm not buying it. Marquita, I'm not buying it. I'm not accepting it. And I damn sure ain't overlooking it because you hoes knew better. You hoes knew better. Y'all sit up there and y'all got excited over 25 goddamn dollars. Y'all sent these children out here for $25. Charlotte Stewart, thank you for supporting the channel, my love. That tells me right there that y'all made that shit okay. Y'all opened the door and kept opening that motherfucker for those children to go and come like that. Because children don't create patterns like that on their own because they're damn children. Y'all trained them to do what they're doing. Karen, be welcome. Children don't just wake up and be like, oh yeah, oh yeah, let me go hang around a damn auto shop full of grown men tonight. That's what we gonna do. We ain't doing no homework. We ain't washing no dishes. We ain't cleaning up no floors, no bathrooms. We go and hang to the auto shop. Children don't do no shit like that. That come from sick, grown-ass adults training children to be nasty, just as Annette, Shannon, and Marquita is. That shit came from them nasty-ass adults with them nasty-ass decisions. That came from these trifling hoes saying, yeah, y'all go ahead. And that's the part that pisses me off. Because now we're not just talking about the shop. We're talking about the fact that they came from a nasty ass environment and they was forced to go to a double nasty ass environment full of grown ass men that they all knew had a record. And they want to act like that shop didn't mean shit. Bitch, go away. because that shit means everything. Everything. I see y'all up in here, chat. I see y'all. I need y'all to talk to me right now. Does that shit sound like a normal place for kids to be? If y'all believe this an auto shop of all places sounds like a normal place for kids to be, man, drop some cars in this motherfucker if y'all felt like that shop ain't right. Because they ain't fixing no cars in that bitch. I could almost guarantee you. They played around with a broken ass Jaguar. Went there broke. Listen, the Jaguar went there broke. They delivered that bitch back broke. So do y'all think that was certified auto mechanics? No. Kim Worthy knows that. Kim Worthy knows that. And they let this shit go on like it was acceptable. Be careful, Spicy. Be safe, boo. Big Mama said they claim it was an old SA kit that was sitting in a box that had not been processed. Big Mama Kim Worthy lied. I thought she had to listen. We gonna go back to her lies, right? Charging that man, because they went after the man the minute Jarvis got sentenced. That was not old SA kits. That was not old SA kits, because wasn't it recently reported that she went through all the SA kits and did what she had to do? And then when she did go through the SA kits, that man was still on the force. Stop all of that shit. They check like nobody could read and nobody could remember. Hey, Kim, welcome, boo. My girl Kim says, just like this man just got exposed. Just like this man just got exposed, Kim Worthless is about to get exposed too. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wendy said it took the FBI to get him. And the FBI is going to come for the rest. Isn't that funny? The FBI was included because he moved to North Carolina. Where was the FBI with these situations in Detroit? So she could have contacted the FBI to go across state lines to get this man, whom he probably did a dirty before he left. He probably said some things, did some things. And he probably was no longer cooperating with them when he moved away. He probably didn't want to be a part of their program anymore. So we're going to get him and keep him to shut the hell up. We don't want him talking. Hey, April, welcome, sis. We don't want him talking. That's the problem. Big Mama said facts. That trifling bitch, she should have come out to speak on NAZIYAH's behalf before and after the trial. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank God your mama is home, Cornell. Take care of mama. Chandra says, so Jarvis got family in New York City? That's where I'm from. Shaking my motherfucking head. Chandra. Yes, ma'am. Jarvis Bus got family everywhere. Carly Henry, you understand? Send those children to that shop for $25. Marcus and And Shan could have went flip burgers for $25. Deborah Crosby, welcome to the chat. Now let's take this shit a step further, because this is the part that really got me looking like, nah. What kind of adult? What kind of adult? And I need you all, beautiful soul. Hey, boo. She said, I live in North Carolina. Listen, y'all, and I need y'all to chime in and tell me what kind of adult would send little girls to a damn auto shop. Hey, Felice, welcome, boo. I need somebody to make that shit make sense for me, because I'm trying to understand it. What part of that sounds like a good decision? What part of that sounds safe? What part of that sounds like something you're supposed to be doing as a grown-ass adult? Because we ain't talking. We ain't talking about running errands. We ain't talking about, hey, NAZIYAH, go to the store for granny. We ain't talking about that type of shit. We ain't talking about, oh, Janiyah, just go run in there and ask your daddy for the keys. We ain't talking about that type of shit. We talking about dumb hoes sending these children, not sending them. Because let me tell you how they got there. Not by what MOCA is saying, but by what they admitted. Sometimes Jarvis would call and to find out if it was okay for the girls to go to the shop. Sometimes the girls would go to Shannon and ask her to call Jarvis to see if he needed them. Sometimes Annette would go and drive the children to the shop and drop them off. The fuck are we really talking about? A whole damn pattern. Talking about it happening not once, not twice, but consistently. Talking about it being allowed. And that's where the problem is for me. Because let me tell you something. Ain't no decent ass adult make no decisions like that. Not over and over and over again. And acting like they don't see nothing wrong with it. That's the fucked up part. They ain't confused. They don't look at it as a mistake. They don't look at that shit like we don't know no better. Nah, that was a choice these hoes made. Because this is the life that they're used to living. And nobody checked these nasty heifers with this shit. Lady D said that's why this fight is not over. We need real justice for NAZIYAH, absolutely. Tony says one of the cashiers at the store was telling people about NAZIYAH was seen at the shop on the night she went missing. I'm pretty damn sure. They should have said they saw Annette. They should have said they saw Shannon. They should have said they saw Marquita. That's crazy. Big Mama said it's the fact that it's Frank's auto repair shops in several states. I just couldn't figure out how to find the owners of those shops. Well, they know how to hide. The more ragged ass cars in that shop as if they're really working on them. TB, I see you, boo. Welcome, mama. Tony says Shannon and Annette. Big back asses got on the witness stand lying, saying that he only had an uncle and niece relationship. Miss us with that bullshit. Shannon and Annette and Kim Worthless. But that's where they should have hung Shannon. That's where she should have been in a sycamore tree. Listen to me and listen to me well. First of all, Shannon, Jarvis Bus was not your husband. Your dumb ass took your income tax check, gave it to Jarvis Butts in the name of flipping it. He took it and gave a ring to another woman. Never promised you a damn thing. Not even an engagement. After laying on your back and having them 3 children and them 2 possibles. So how could they accept her sitting on that witness stand? It should have been nothing more than a uncle and niece relationship. That she was not her uncle. And she damn sure wasn't his niece. That's why he felt it was okay to play with that child. And you knew about it. You gave your niece to him because you didn't see a goddamn connection, you big wide back heifer. I'm sick of y'all. And if y'all really think y'all got away with something, it ain't over. All the evidence that's out here on y'all, everything that's been laid out here on y'all, and you mean to tell me this is how Detroit handles this? Something is wrong. Detroit needs to be under the radar. Natasha says, first of all, it's a hazard and a liability to have those kids at that shop in the first damn place. Natasha, Annette, Shannon, and Marquita was not looking at liability. Those hungry, jobless whores, uneducated like a motherfucker, couldn't keep a job for one because Marquita worked with the disabled people and she thought it was all right to sleep with them. Bitch lost her job behind that. Shannon, tell the world how many jobs you lost for stealing. Annette didn't need no job because she thought she was a first class madam. April Webster, thank you. MOCA, love you, girl. Me and husband will tap in next time. Oh, thank you, boo. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for supporting the channel, as always. They couldn't keep a job. Couldn't keep a job. So they sent those children out there for $25. My girl Charlotte's Web say, MOCA always hated that damn Jaguar. Girl, that bitch went there broke and left there broke. Look at my girl Marty done hit the building. Marty says, worthless and bones glasses out of Thunderbirds or go. And she still can't speak straight. Damn, Marty. Marty could come up with some shit. Levesque said, we will witness the Harris family wickedness, immorality, evil, no care, greed go down. It's called karma. You just wait. Oh, yeah. Every dog got his day, and they're no different. My thing is, when you keep making them same type of choices, you know what kind of environment you sending them into. And you only send them in that environment because you are a part of that damn environment. I don't give a damn how nobody try to spin this. You mean to tell me you sending kids to an auto shop? Grown ass men. You ain't questioning nothing. You ain't got no care, no concern. You ain't even hesitant about it. And you know that the motherfuckers that's at the shop, they all got records just like y'all. Just like y'all. That's why y'all was so comfortable allowing NAZIYAH and God knows those other little girls as well being with Eric Gamble. Y'all had no concerns. Man, listen, I ain't buying that shit because at some point you had to look at this situation, bitch, and say, this don't feel right. But you didn't. You didn't. And that said a lot about you. Because now it ain't even just about the shop. It's about you hoes who made that shit okay. And that's where this shit starts getting real uncomfortable. Because we got to start making it make sense. And if we can see this shit on the outside, goddammit, I know Detroit saw it too. They saw it. If y'all in the chat is picking up what MOCA's putting down, do that sound like a decent decision to you? If y'all feel that is not a decent decision that was made by these three overgrown ass, trifling ass women, drop some caution signs in the shop, in the chat. If y'all felt like this shit should have never been allowed. Annette, you sorry. You are the sorriest example of human existence that I've ever seen in my life. And I said it. You've been getting away with this shit for too long. And nobody called your ass out. But I'm here to do it for them. I'm here to do it for them because you bitch, you make no sense. Children gotta keep getting, children gotta come up missing. I see the caution signs, y'all. I see them, I see them, I see them. Thank you so very much. Star, hey, niece, welcome to the chat. And that's where I have a problem with that extended family. That's where I have a problem with Lady Little Ugly Ass. That's why I have a problem with all these people who knew these children were going to the shop, said nothing, did nothing, and allowed it. Look at love selfishly. Hey, boo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It ain't that nobody didn't know nothing. It ain't that they didn't know nothing. Hey, Roz, welcome, boo. Welcome. Boo Banger, I see you, boo. They were already, listen, everybody knew Jarvis Butt's past. The whole Detroit knew the Jarvis Butt's history. There was already concerns and past issues, according to Journell. She hadn't reported it. So there was already concerns surrounding the people connected to this whole damn situation. And that's why I'm stuck where I'm stuck. Because how the hell do you send them children there? Knowing that there were already red flags, bitch. How do you do it? Because let's not act like people move blindly in situations like this. Annette, you fucked around and pretended you didn't have your glasses in a preliminary because you didn't want to bring Jarvis Butts to the front of the class. I understand you done slept with him. I understand you like the dirty D. But God damn it, how could you like the dirty D over your own grandchildren? Warning sign after warning sign after warning sign. History on top of history of this nasty ass man's behavior. And y'all accepted that. Y'all entrusted him with these precious children. How the hell could anybody ignore that? You don't just keep moving around shit like that like it's normal. Because I'm trying to understand, how do you look at a situation where there are already concerns and still tell those children, yeah, go ahead. Go with your uncle. Go with your daddy. And you hoes sitting up there ready to collect 25 raggedy dollars. Let me tell you how sick y'all are. Y'all collected $25 from Jarvis Butts. Right? For these little girls that was at that shop. And I didn't make up the number 25. Marquita said it. Y'all collected 25. Now we're going to make this shit make sense. Miss Kim Worthy. Bring your ugly scalp here, because that hairdo today, boo, you could have sent it to North Carolina with that motherfucker you picked up. But anyway, y'all waited for those little children to come back with a pack of cookies, a bag of candy, and $25. Y'all slow hoes thought y'all were winning. But little did y'all know, all the images, allegedly, that Jarvis had, King had, Frank had, and God knows who else had. Do you slow bitches know how much money they generated off of those images? Huh. Because they were for sale. But y'all didn't want nobody to talk about that. So y'all some slow hoes. Y'all collected $75, and y'all didn't get $25 each and every time those children went there either. Just enough for y'all to shut the hell up. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. But Kim Worthy, you got to explain to us why the charge with the images, why did they disappear? But yet you run to North Carolina and pick up this man. Y'all got to make this shit make sense. And I ain't about to sit up here and act like this shit is making sense, because it don't. You knew there were risks. You knew there were issues, and you still made the same choices. Y'all stood on that shit. And the part that keeps making me come back is what did those children really know? What did those children hear? What made them, what made Shannon and Annette and Marquita ugly asses think that this was okay? Because I don't care how nobody tries to explain it. Once warning signs are on the table, the responsibility is supposed to fucking change. And they overlooked all of that because they wanted a man, a piece of man, one that all three of them could have shared. Well, Marcus ain't want no goddamn man, because Marcus is the muscle. It's not about what you didn't know, bitch. It's about what you chose to ignore. And that's where this whole thing gets uncomfortable. Because y'all chose to ignore it. Y'all made the decision to put these children in harm's way. Not America. Not Jarvis Butts. Not that auto shop. Those children would not know of the existence of an auto shop if it wasn't for Shannon. If it wasn't for Annette. If it wasn't for Marquita. Because my thing is, Marquita had a son. Why he didn't go to the auto shop? I want to know. Tony says Mocha Kim Worthless has a warehouse full of essay kits with her lying ass. Kenyatta said they played in our face for 2 years, 2 months, and 3 days. Yes, they did. Kamisha, I see you, boo. Kamisha said that bitch claimed she was doing them kits for 8 years. Huh. Big Mama says, as an officer, I'm trying to figure out what crimes did the retired cop do that they would have had his DNA. That part. That part. But Big Mama, look at how long he's been retired. Hey, Vicky, welcome, boo. Look at how long he's been retired, Big Mama. Why would his DNA still be in the system? You understand where I'm going with that? It's the lies. It's the fucking lies for me. She just may as well go there and tell the truth and say that Jarvis Bus dropped the dime. Cornell said $25. There's some cheap hoes, and they use those children for $25. Natasha said breaking all kind of child labor laws. Listen, when I say find me a sycamore tree, I mean that. I mean that. Cornell said only an adult that's thirsty for men, and look at the man. Look at what man they did all of this shit for. That's sad. Kim said this information here needs to be forwarded to someone. So Kim Worthless, prosecutors, CPS, the school, DPD, Annette, Shannon, Marquita are all held accountable for all this corruption. Lock all their asses up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I want to know. I want to know. How is it that Kim Worthy gives Shannon and Annette the right to walk freely, knowing that they were the hoes that were responsible for these children? Because it couldn't have started with Jarvis Butts. Jarvis Butts could not have access without Shannon, without Annette, without Marquita. Jarvis Butts lived in Annette's home, and they accepted Annette's lie. They accepted Shannon's lie. But let me tell you all something that you all may not know. They accepted Shannon and Annette's lie behind closed doors. They gave up some information behind closed doors. You could best believe that. You could best believe that. I don't believe that Shannon and Annette has immunity. I don't believe that. I believe they use their asses just to get enough information to convict Jarvis Butts. I believe that to be true. I could be very wrong. I also believe the day is coming for Shannon, Annette, and Marquita. Because something is telling me they say Annette so say know where NAZIYAH is or have NAZIYAH's remains or however the hell it went. Don't quote me on it. But for her to know all of that, Jarvis Butts didn't give it to her. Jarvis Butts didn't give it to her. Shannon, Annette, and Marquita were there. They were there. And watch how this shit plays out. Dorothy Ann, welcome, boo. Big Mama says, I won't let my kids and grandkids play out of my sight. You played 3-4 houses to the left or the right. That's it and that's all. My girl Portia says, I work at a car auction, and they do not allow children under the age of 18 to be there. So to have children at an auto shop is beyond me. See what I'm saying? We in here thinking like decent people. Annette, Shannon, Marquita ain't decent people. Angie, welcome to the chat, my love. Cool Girl Sister says, Mocha, did you notice how Tijuana talked and looked straight at it, then looked out in the courts, and there's other little girls being hurt right now? Who was she talking to? Oh, she was talking to her brother. She was talking to her brother. Hey, Venetia, welcome, boo. Karen said, what's really going on, Annette? Miss Tight Ship. Girl, Annette ain't shit tight about Annette other than that ugly ass wig that she wears. That's the only thing that's tight about that hoe. Tony said, it goes to show. Them hoes is slow as hell. That is not a place for little girls. And why he never took the boys to the shop should show them how to change oil and tires, because there was no oil to be changed and there was no tires to be changed. None. Absolutely none. Patricia said, why nobody called 911 and reported it? Because Patricia, in Detroit, baby, 911 is a joke. And they didn't want that. Shell, baby, I see you, boo. They didn't want to call nobody. They didn't want to include nobody in their mess because they thought that enterprise was tight. They didn't want no outsiders peeking in. They didn't want no disturbance. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they felt they had it all under control. That's what they felt. And I'm going to tell you, let me tell you where everything went haywire. Let me tell you how all of this blew up. I'll tell you how it all blew up. Annette reported NAZIYAH as a runaway to the school. Think about it. If that runaway report would have got tossed in the trash, mysteriously disappeared, and the person that took the other person's place would have never picked it up and brought it to DPD, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We wouldn't be having this conversation right now. NAZIYAH was just supposed to disappear. She wasn't supposed to have all of this hoorah behind her. That's not what was supposed to happen. This shit was supposed to be silent. This was supposed to be a quiet incident where nobody knew nothing. But the universe said different than that. They sick of your shit. Levesque said, so how they were focused on Jarvis to get him convicted, not paying close attention to the family. Only when they forced Annette to do that conference. But shouldn't that raise a brow? It should have. Levesque, because they threaten her. Hey, Rhapsody, welcome, boo. They threaten her. If you don't do this press conference, we're going to put charges on you, ma'am. And you mean to tell me they did not act on that? That tells a story right there without telling the story. That's crazy. Beautiful soul. He hit the jackpot with that family. Absolutely. Patricia said them hoes wicked because they use children. And you know, Patricia, if those children had not been pulled out of their care, the others would be being used right now. Deborah Crosby said it ain't over till the triple back bitches are put in jail. Justice for NAZIYAH. My girl PJ said Shannon should have went and got that ring back. Being she likes to sell wolf ticket, bitch ain't about that life. Hell no, she ain't about that life. You go give a convicted PDF your entire income tax check. You got children, girl, but you gave it to a convicted PDF. He took your check and his dirty D and bought the dirty D and the check to another slow woman and bought her a ring, gave you nothing, and he went right back to you and you accepted him, laid there, took some more dirty D from him, got another baby from it, and then you sent him on his way to be with your niece. Shannon, sit your ass down, because I'm sick of you. You're as slow as you look. Kenyatta says perjury. Cornell eating this shit up. Cornell tickle, tickle, tickle. Cornell said dumb, dumber, and dumbest. That's them with wigs on. Kenyatta says perjury. How you going to say Jarvis will pick them up at school, take them to the shop, but when Jarvis visits the home, he can't come in the house. But NAZIYAH could be around the shop. Look at that, Kenyatta. Make it make sense, right? It's the lies for me. And Kim Worthy, you supposed to be a smart. You supposed to be a smart, bad shape, short. God, look, baby, don't get me started on you. But anyway, how could you not address that? How? Shit. Marty said now it's very clear why NAZIYAH getting real justice wasn't important. Damn, Marty. Marty said to Bones. Nah, Marty. You know what, Marty? Wait a minute. Let me take a sip on this shit. Cause man, Marty cutting up. But those of you that are here and have not yet hit that like button, please hit the like button for your girl. And don't be stingy with the emojis to the right. Tap those things like your life depend on it. You know, I need those emojis to be tap, 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 tap to the right, y'all. Marty says, now it's clear why NAZIYAH is getting real justice. Why it's clear why she wasn't getting justice was important. She called Annette Bones. She called Kim Worth this turkey neck. NAZIYAH's justice is still important to everyone. She ain't going away anytime soon. Hell no, she ain't. Because we want to know. We want to know because they have not given us nothing saying that she's not here. They have given us nothing. Kim said that's why they didn't want a trial, because a lot of information would have come out. Absolutely, Kim. I said that. I said that. That's why we didn't have a trial. Too much would have been revealed. And you see that man that just got arrested? He would have been called to the front of the class in this trial. Cornell, she had no boundaries. None. Absolutely. Kim said all this corruption is being exposed and nobody's still locked up. This is crazy to me. Cornell, you ain't shit. Cornell said dirty P attracts dirty D, baby. Cornell. And it shows. My girl Vicky said Shannon literally gave the girls to Jarvis on a platter. Vicky, absolutely. Absolutely. Why her and Annette didn't get charged with anything is amazing. Vicky, that shows you what's really going on in Detroit. Damn, Cornell said Annette got some miles on that dried up cooch. Let me tell you, Cornell, it might not even be a cooch no more. Just a ditch. Just a damn ditch. Just a ditch. Damn. Star said Larry don't get no pass either. Hell no, Larry don't get a pass, sis. Larry don't get no pass. You left them children with Annette, knowing what she did to you. Help me understand. She ain't getting no pass. Not on my watch, sis. Cause Larry is gonna be a live stream by herself. Rod said Jarvis has proven history, and they let him enter their fold. It wasn't speculation or hearsay. They knew for a fact what he was about. Absolutely. Desperation. Desperation. Damn, Simone. Simone said Annette got miles on the wig too. But the auto shop was a cover-up for a whole lot of nastiness. From Annette's house to the auto shop. From Annette's house to the auto shop. Come on now. But Trima, you're right. Those children never had a chance. Cigarettes and beer. Carla Henry. Anisha Harris, another one. Levesque said, and then the crazy is, it may be Shannon can't go see him, in which I know she would if she could. Oh, hell yeah. Prophet, Big Mama, Jarvis, King, Frank, whoever else, allegedly, they all profited off those pictures and videos of them children. And them hoes received $25. Absolutely, beautiful soul. Those children shouldn't have to go nowhere to get no goddamn snacks, all them food stamps Annette got. But Annette took those food stamps, fill up their refrigerator, put the locks and the chains around the refrigerator, hiding food from those children. I'm sick of them. Absolutely, Boo Banger. As long as they was getting a few dollars, it kept them quiet. Erica Red, welcome, Boo. I'm late. I went with my cousin. She's 5 years clean today. Congratulations to your cousin. Big Mama, I was praying that it would have been a trial. And the story would have came out, but the prosecution knew. Kim Worthy knew. That's why they avoided a trial. Let me tell y'all something, and I said it before. This was set up. I don't give a shit how nobody feels about the way I deliver my commentary. If you don't like it, don't bring your ass here. Because if you continue to come in my comments, I will continue to do what I do. Not only block your comment, but damn it, block you too. Whatever you hear around the corner, you hear around the corner. That's two different houses delivering commentary. But don't bring your ass here discussing, criticizing, talking about what I do. I'm sick of you all people. I'm sick of people like that. But I called that one. I called that one when I said we were played from the gate. There was no juror. There was no jurors picked ever. Because in their heart, in their soul, in their mind, that would never be a trial. They knew what they were doing from the gate. And they played this shit till the end. Hey, the Archer, welcome, boo. They played this shit till the end. I said it. And I'll say it over and over and over again. Now, if you don't see it that way, that's on you. But ain't nobody gonna control the way I see shit. Ain't nobody gonna control the way I say shit. And all I can say is if you don't like it, don't you bring your ass here. Kim said, how did she go pick up that man? How did she go pick up that man in North Carolina and she haven't picked up Annette, Shannon, and Marquita? And they're right here in Michigan. Kim, let's make this shit make sense. Kim. Woo! Kim. Jarvis gave them names of people. And it probably knocked Kim Worthley's wig off when he started naming people. I bet you that's what happened. And in order to make it look good, for the people that were sitting around the table when he exposed them names, she had to find one in a bunch. Hey, Queen Bee, welcome, boo. Oh, Leah, welcome, boo. She had to find one in a bunch. One that she wasn't closely connected to no more. He was retired, moved out of Michigan. He didn't want no more of what they had going on because look how old the charges are. Now let's stop right there. Look at how old them charges are. She was in office on them dates. He worked closely with her on them dates. So why was that shit not addressed then? You gotta make it make sense. He don't want to play their games no more. And who knows, he probably silently played them. And they had to pull somebody out of there. And there, you wait, some more is coming too. She don't want Annette, she don't want Shannon, but she ain't gonna have no choice but to get them. You may not want to do it in your time, but God ain't gonna stop till he make you do it, ma'am. Big Mama said anybody who meets a potential mate better do a background checks on them. I will stay single. I can't deal with this crap. Big Mama, you better talk it, especially when they got them out here with the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. Now all these children possibly dealing with ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. Lady Libra, hey boo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Poor Janiyah. Carla Henry said, they said Kim Worthy don't have a boss over her. What? Carla Henry. She got to answer to somebody. At least she should. At least she should. Tony said Jarvis needs to drop them hoes $25 to the FBI and tell us where the fuck NAZIYAH is at. And come to think about it, them hoes ain't worth $25. Girl. Carla Henry said, I thought Kim Worthy had proof that NAZIYAH is gone. That's what she said, Carla Henry. I'm going to leave that right there. Carla Henry, she said she had proof. Carla Henry, where's the proof? Carla, where's NAZIYAH? That's the bigger question. Where's NAZIYAH? They lied and said they didn't know anything. Lady D, those people lied. The Archer said, my friend called the Auntie Twins Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or the Turtles. They are horrible. Cornell said, I done called 911 so many times in Detroit and they never showed up. See, they don't give a damn. Beautiful soul said, walking like the crypt keeper. Dorothy Ann said to do more than Dorothy Ann. Dorothy Ann ain't fixing a damn thing over there. Wendy said that's why they moved Jarvis so fast. They had to arrest that ex-police officer to return to the jail. It's all something. Charlotte's Web said the governor is her boss. Wendy. Absolutely, Wendy. Veronica, hey, Veronica, welcome. Veronica said, and honestly, I don't see Monster but surviving in prison for very long. MOCA, NAZIYAH is hunting the hell out of him. Soon enough, he gonna unalive himself. Veronica, you believe that? I don't think so. I don't see it that way. You know why? He's a monster. He don't have a conscience. He don't have a heart. No, I don't believe he's going to take his own life. I don't see it. I don't see it. And another reason I don't see it, boo. I'm going to tell you another reason why MOCA don't see it. I stand on what I stand on. And that is he ain't going to be there very long. He ain't going to be there very long, Veronica. Marty said, where are those who had so much to say? Deflect from the truth. Silence of all of a sudden. Hey, Marty. Jarvis will not harm himself. Y'all know why? Right, Roz, not only is he a narcissist, he took one for the team. He took one for the team. If y'all believe Jarvis, because MOCA just be talking shit sometimes, but if y'all believe Jarvis took one for the team, throw some hundreds in here. If y'all believe. Y'all don't have to believe. You know, because we all agree to disagree. But I believe Jarvis took one for the team. Big Mama says they couldn't have him and Jarvis in the same rooming area, so they got him out of there. Absolutely, Big Mama. Angie, you're right. Some people just don't deserve children. I see the hundreds. I see y'all. I see. He ain't gonna stay there. But MOCA crazy. Levette said, MOCA, if Shannon could go visit Jarvis, and he's now convicted, she would. My man, sick bitch. What's wrong with her, MOCA? Ask her mama that. That's who raised that hoe. That's who raised that hoe. Ask that shit to her mama. I see y'all. He will not stay there. But MOCA crazy though. Beautiful Soul said, MOCA, you can learn a lot from a dummy. Beautiful Soul, Shannon ain't learned shit from Jarvis. And she was a dummy. Playing with children. Kenyatta says, Smokey, in my opinion, they go let Annette and Nasty Twins put that baby to rest, then charge them all. I hope the hell so. But I'm not too big on the putting her to rest part. I'm not too big on putting her to rest part. And I'm going to tell y'all why I'm not too big on that putting her to rest part. Because I don't believe she's deceased. 2 years, 2 months, and now we're into the 6th day. Where's the proof? Where's the proof? Detroit is used to playing these kind of fucked up games. Faking deaths. I done seen it too many times. Where's the proof? I don't believe that child is deceased. And Jarvis don't believe it either. Jarvis stupid. He taking one for the team. When Jarvis' sister told him what she told him, brother, look at me, brother. Jarvis had a little emotion for his sister. He had bigger emotions for his daughter. And I do believe Jarvis was in between a rock and a hard place. Because there's no way facing the courts for as long as Jarvis been facing the courts concerning this situation. Jarvis has not said one word. He didn't use his voice. And it was designed that way. He sat there like he never learned nothing all his life. It was designed for him to sit there looking crazy. People talked about the way his eyes kept blinking. That nigga was fighting back emotions. He wanted to say something, but knew the people that he was dealing with had forbidden him to say a goddamn word. Samantha, welcome, boo. They forbid him to say a damn word. Y'all got to make it make sense. You got to look at this shit from the eyes of a criminal. He was forced to play the role in that courtroom that he did. When Jarvis' daughter got up there and said all what she said, Jarvis could have came out of that jumpsuit and threw that mask. He wanted to say something. He couldn't. He couldn't. Deborah Crosby said Jarvis is still controlling them from jail. She gave him that income tax check because they were all in this together. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no way. I'm telling you, Annette is sad. Annette is sad. Look at what the Archer said. Look at what the Archer says. Jarvis didn't even flinch when Frank came up in there trying to throw hands and bullshit. How he didn't flinch. The Archer, he didn't flinch because it was part of the plan. It was part of the setup. Why would I flinch when I know goddamn well you ain't doing nothing? Why would I flinch? Why would I flinch when I know this shit is scripted? Why would I flinch when they told me that you were going to show up and show your ass a little bit to cause a distraction? They told Jarvis Frank was coming to the party. They also told Jarvis Shannon was scheduled to show the fuck off, and she did. They also told Jarvis that Annette was going to put on an award-winning performance. And he sat there through it all. Absolutely, Carla Henry, that was a whole setup. Beautiful Soul said we all grown up in here. You go tell me when them kids left that shop, them kids wasn't walking funny in pain? Beautiful Soul. Beautiful Soul. As a mother, you, me, everybody, teenagers being active that way, everything about them changed. And from the testimonies of those little girls and the way they describe the violation, from a grown man, listen to me. Not only should the little girls have been walking funny, they should have been on their goddamn knees. They should have been crawling. Because as grown women, we all adults, as grown women, there's a pain sometimes that we can't understand. So imagine what those children went through. And Annette, Shannon, Marquita, y'all, big, funky, nasty, no good. Listen, y'all allowed those girls to suffer and kept sending them back for more. Annette, you will rot. Sitting your ass up there looking like Spider-Man. Bitch, you go rot. Your own granddaughter got on that stand, gave testimony to what she witnessed, to what she saw happening in that shop. They go home and they tell it to y'all. And they shouldn't have to tell it to y'all. Y'all could have saw the way these children moved. But let me tell you something. Y'all knew something was wrong. Hey, because why was NAZIYAH back and forth in the doctor's office? Why? Everybody knew that Jarvis Butts has the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. But yet y'all kept sending her back. Y'all, cause Jarvis would come and see if it's okay for the girls to come clean the shop. Bitch, you knew y'all children wasn't cleaning up no shop. Man, them hoes need to be locked up. Them children had no business being exposed to nothing like that. Ever. Ever. And anybody from this point on, I don't give a damn who you are in Detroit. You could be Annette's sister, Annette grandma, Annette mama, Annette cousin, her sister, her next door neighbor. I don't give a fuck who you are. Anybody that's found around those people is trash. Annette got sons with children. And they don't want their children around Annette. Detroit, look, I'm not from Detroit. But you see, right now, Detroit should be in an uproar. Detroit should be marching, walking, sleeping, stomping at the DA office. Too much evidence is out here. Too much information is out here showing what Annette, Marquita, and Shannon allowed to happen to these children. And you mean to tell me, Kim Worthy, this is what you do to the citizens of Detroit? So it's okay to lock Jarvis up because he had a history. He had a past. He's a known monster. But what about those that feed the monsters? What about those that feed the monsters? The proof is there that Jarvis was handed those children. Y'all know that, Detroit? Y'all also know, because it's video footage out there, Annette gave NAZIYAH to her very own brother. Let's not forget that. Tier 3, certified PDF. Let's talk about it. And you mean to tell me you ignored all of that? You ignored all of that. Detroit, I have a problem. How many more children is going to come up missing in Detroit and all we could do is talk about it? Y'all should be tired of talking about it. But it ain't going to get better. It ain't going to get better until y'all willing to make it damn better. Annette didn't show one sign of searching for NAZIYAH. Look, let me tell you, this tells a whole goddamn story. And it don't make no sense us sugarcoating it now. Because I asked the question, why didn't Annette go to the shop that night? Instead, she took her black ass home and went to sleep. That's number one. Annette never went out looking for NAZIYAH. Jessica, welcome to the chat, my love. Annette never went out in the name of searching for NAZIYAH because she didn't come home that night. Shannon said, Annette said we'll address it tomorrow. Shannon said Annette went home and went to sleep. That's what Shannon said. So Annette, you couldn't search for your granddaughter who didn't come home that night. You took your raggedy ass to sleep. But Annette, the dog ran away, bitch. The dog ran away and you was out there with that crooked wig on and that dirty ass coat and them ugly ass shoes with them flea market clothes, and you were going up the street and down the street and around the corner searching for a goddamn dog. Make this make sense. You love that dog more than you love NAZIYAH. You didn't search for NAZIYAH. And I'm going to tell you why we believe you didn't search for her. Because you knew. You knew. You knew. Somebody needs to go in Detroit and get them. Start at the prosecutor's office and clean all that up. All these children keep getting hurt over and over and over again. Kim says, MOCA, I love the way you speak. Please keep speaking until they get locked up. Keep up the good work. Keep feeding us the information. Thank you so very much, Kim. Carla Henry, it looks that way. They let Kim Worthy do what she wants. The Archer said, can you imagine Shannon's face when she read those disgusting text messages from NAZIYAH's tablet? Hold up. The Archer, I'm going to address that too. The Archer says, can you imagine Shannon's face when she read those disgusting text messages from NAZIYAH's tablet? She saw a rival and didn't give a fuck. Hold up. The Archer, that did not bother Shannon. And I'm going to tell you why it didn't bother Shannon. See, they've been playing in our face for quite some time. And I'm about to tell you why. That did not bother Shannon because those were not NAZIYAH's text messages, baby. Those were Shannon text messages. Shannon. That big waterhead. She played the game. She tried to trick Jarvis Butts up. She wanted to see how Jarvis Butts was going to respond to her 13-year-old niece because she knew what time it was. Because she learned long time ago that Jarvis had more feelings for a 13-year-old than he could ever have for her. Those weren't NAZIYAH's text messages. 90% of them belonged to Shannon. Carla Henry said, Jarvis probably won't make it 2 months in jail. Carla Henry, you really believe that? Jarvis served an 8-year prison stint. Jarvis ain't no stranger to the prison system. I'm going to tell you why. Let's talk about all this shit. Jarvis did 8 years for essaying a 4-year-old. Not only did he essay her, but he gave that child a disease. Let's stop right there. He survived those 8 years, didn't come out with a scratch. Got back on the street and started doing the same thing all over again. So he was not rehabilitated in those 8 years. So what makes you think he ain't gonna survive a year in prison? Oh, most definitely he will. He's gonna survive there at least 5. And then he's gonna disappear. He's gonna disappear. And I'm gonna continue to say that. Marty said, don't Detroit have a mayor? DPD need to report him. Michigan State Attorney Services are over prosecution services. I'm just asking. I don't know, Marty. LeBeck said Jarvis is going to go through some shit in prison. I don't think he'll make it. Prisoners will mess him up. He's going to be in, I think Jarvis is going to, the little time that he's going to stay there, and that's just my opinion. The little time that he's there, he's going to be in PC. And if he's not in PC, he's going to be in an area with people just like him. I don't think they're going to give him free range to move around. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Lady D, so I think if the governor is her boss, we need to get a petition together and send it to her boss on Kim Worthless and how she let possible moms, possibly 1 and 2, get to giving them children to Jarvis. I agree with you, Lady D, 100%. I truly agree. Okay, Samantha, I'm gonna check it, boo. I'm gonna check it. No nonsense. Hey, boo. Hey, Shrell, I see you. Tony said Shannon don't want no smoke, so she ain't gonna step to the other slow hoe about no ring or no money. Absolutely. Rob said Annette need to learn how to bring some tears to her crying. Dry as ass crying I ever seen that girl. That cry is as dry as her wig. Cornell ain't shit. Cornell said Annette had on a 5 heartbeat jacket, looking like, and the beat goes on. She was looking a mess. Deborah Crosby said, I believe King played a part too. He's not innocent either. Deborah Crosby. King is far from innocent. That's why his ass is on that thumbnail. He was a part of all the shenanigans that went down in that shop. All the shenanigans. And let me tell you what I think happened. Frank says, Jarvis bringing too much heat to us. Me and my family done invested once before to get his ass out of trouble. We done helped him out before. So we're going to do what we got to do so everybody don't get implicated. Because he was the main one bringing those children there. And we was just partaking in it. So we're going to do it. Let him take this lick. You know, he got to be the fall guy. He got to be the scapegoat. But we got his back on the back end. There's no fucking way. Jarvis and King was at that shop from 8 o'clock in the morning to 9, 10 o'clock at night. Those little girls was in there after school all night long, on the weekends all day long, and King didn't know nothing and didn't partake. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Frank has helped Jarvis out before. When you look at Frank rap sheet, the one that he got expunged, and you read the name of Frank's attorney, right? And it wasn't a public defender. It was an Arabian attorney. And then when you go back and look at Jarvis Butt's charges over the years, Frank and Jarvis shared the same attorney on many different cases. So, yeah, Frank controlled that shit. But Detroit need to stand up and protest. They need to handle that. Big Mama said, I'm curious why Annette named her son a junior after her brother. That makes no sense to me, Big Mama. I often wondered. Annette ain't got the sense of a flea. You done laid up with your brother, Annette, had a child by your brother, and then you gave that child your brother's damn name. Girl, you showing the world just how sick you are. As if that's cute. As if that's acceptable. And you know what's sad about it? The family knew. Everybody in the family knew that. And nobody said shit. They just allowed that shit like it was normal. So if you could lay up and have a baby with your brother and think it's cute to give him that name of the same man you laid with, that means that whole family is nasty because they still sat there, partied with you, did everything with you because you found that to be acceptable. And we ain't going to stop right there. That same brother you laid there in that with and had a baby by, that's the same brother you gave to NAZIYAH. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody. And it's a damn shame that nobody ever questioned her sickness. Nobody ever put a stop to it. Nobody ever said this shit is enough. Because she's the matriarch. She's Auntie Annette. She's my mama. Shit, she wouldn't be nothing to me. Marty says, in my opinion, Bucks took some charges for Skanky Frankie when he got them 8 years. That's why Skanky gave Bucks the shop, allegedly. He know more a mechanic than God damn, Marty. Marty said Jarvis ain't no more of a mechanic than she is a nun. Trust me, I ain't no nun. I got taught by nuns, but I ain't no damn nun. Marty, you gotta get something to give something. Miss Jackson said, what the fuck is Larry? She needs to make a statement. Larry can't say shit. Larry don't need to make no statement because Larry failed NAZIYAH. Larry failed Vari. I don't give a damn. Larry knows. Larry knows what type of environment she came from with Annette. NAZIYAH mama knows she had to fight her way out of Annette's home. She was tired of Annette sicking her husband on her. That girl got tired of Annette old stinking drunken ass husband laying on the top of her even when she didn't want it. Then Annette did, the family member said, Annette told him, just do what he said so we won't have any trouble. Annette, stop that shit. Now you done did that to Naziah's mama. So Naziah's mama know that she went through holy hell with the net. So she ran away. But when she ran away a little too late. When she ran away, she was pregnant. She was pregnant by Annette's husband. So check this shit out. Let me tell you why Annette is sick for real. And when I say she's sick for real, Annette hated Naziah's mama, and she hated the hell out of Naziah's mama children. She don't like ladies' children, none of them. Vari kept coming out here protecting his grandma. Hold up, Vari. Vari, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, young man. Because not only is Annette your grandma, but then Annette is also your stepmama. Why them family members didn't tell you that? Huh? They should have told you that. Annette, you're sad. You are sad because when Naziah's mama ran away from your home, she was pregnant with Vari by your husband. And you mean to tell me Detroit let all of that slip by? Detroit allowed all of that. But Annette, you needed an alibi. She needed an see Larry out there full of that whatever she's smoking. But Annette used Larry like a tool for an alibi when she went report Naziah as a runaway to that school. Make it make sense. Jesus. Marty said Anthony Sr. lived far away from Detroit. Why? But he got a son. He got a son. And Jennifer. They all corrupt. Deborah Crosby said, I'm still stuck on how Annette went to that court looking like she'd been hanging out all night in them streets. Poor example of a not hanging out all night in the streets. Well, yes, John, she had a child with her brother. Big Mama said keeping that nastiness all in her family. Vari don't know no better. They didn't tell him, and they need to. My thing is, how did they let Vari suffer? Vari went to jail. Vari got a baby. Vari on the street struggling. That family don't care about these children other than what these children could bring to them. That's sad, and it shows. Jennifer says she definitely don't want anything to do with ladies' children. She said on that stand that Naziah's family called her tutor. She called her glamorous. I'm like, what the fuck? Ain't you her grandma? Jennifer. Naziah was a check to that lady. Ms. Jackson said Vari claimed she treated him so badly, so he ran away. But he's still riding for her. Exactly. Still riding for her. My heart, truly, I'm like y'all, my heart hurts for those children. Absolutely, Cornell. Glamorous. That's a stage name. That's a stage name for the women of the night. And Annette knows it. She trained them well. That's sad. That is so sad. That is so sad. How could adults put children in such a light to where they can't even be children? These children, innocents, are lost before they're 10. And everybody think it's okay in Annette's home. It's acceptable. This shit been going on for too many years. When Mark D brought that shit out here, 40 years of CPS, that's when the buck should have stopped. That's when everybody should have said, hold up. 40 years of CPS didn't just come out of the blue sky. Now she needs to be investigated. But nobody touched it. And now Annette feels like she's the big kahuna. She could keep getting these children, and these children could keep coming up missing on her watch. Y'all right, Shannon participated, y'all. I don't give a goddamn what nobody says. And I believe, it's my opinion, allegedly, when Annette disappeared for them 3 hours, from 3 to 6, she went and delivered her. And after everything we done talked about, that raggedy shop, see, that shop was the trap. Talked about the shop, the patterns, the behavior, the decisions, what these hoes knew, what they should have known. I gotta come back to this one thing that I started off with. What the hell was that place really? Was it really an auto shop? What the hell kind of house was Annette running? There's one thing we got to understand as adults. Environments like that shop and environments like Annette home, they don't become what they are by accident. They become that way based on who's there, who's calling the shots, who has something to gain, who has a motive, who's benefiting, and how much they're willing to let happen over there. And that's why I keep circling back to it. Because something about that shop just don't line up with the story that they're selling us. Thank you, my sister Marty. Thank you, boo. Too many damn connections. Too many repeated situations over and over and over and over again. Too goddamn much silence around something that should have been questioned from day one very loudly. And I'm sorry, but when you got all that bullshit going on, you don't get to just call it a shop and move the fuck on. Nah, you don't get to say that this is where I live on Bedford and move on. Something was happening in both of those spots that people didn't question enough. Or they just didn't want to question that shit at all. And that's what don't sit right with me. Because now we're not just talking about what happened to NAZIYAH. We're not talking about what happened to those other children. We're talking about what the fuck Annette allowed. And I say Annette because Annette was in control of this entire situation. Gotta call it for what it is. Annette, you adopted NAZIYAH. So, bitch, that meant you was fully in control of where NAZIYAH went, of what she did, and how she did it. So it's on you. You allowed it. You ignored it. And you stayed quiet 2 years, 2 months, and 6 days. Well, 3 days. When you should have been speaking up. But you didn't speak up because you don't care. And until those questions get answered, I'm going to keep looking at the shop. I'm going to keep looking at Annette. I'm going to keep looking at everywhere Annette ever lived. I'm going to look at them twins. I'm going to look at all this nasty shit every single time. That's it and that's all. Miss Jackson said, Barry ain't confused. He see how they treated his mama and his sister. What's to be confused about? Because his grandma ain't shit, that part. Levesque said, yeah, Mocha. NAZIYAH was just a check to Annette and named the glamorous, like selling her like a madam, and that's what she did. Roz says, but didn't the community stomp on it? I guess where I come from, we believe in prairie justice. Make your own law. The community knew what was going on. Absolutely, Roz. And you know what? Roz, I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it, Roz, because if Detroit don't do what they're supposed to do, the neighbors, the citizens, those that truly care, step in and do what needs to be done. Jennifer says, I feel like Barry was used as a pawn. He kept defending Annette openly. He identified NAZIYAH's shoes that they didn't test. I also feel like he should have done an impact statement for NAZIYAH. Jennifer, absolutely. Absolutely. But he identified one shoe, because God knows where the other one was. You're sitting there, you don't give an impact statement. So what purpose did he really serve? None. The shoe that was identified, I was told he identified that shoe because he was pressured to do so. And he was pressured to identify that planted shoe in hopes of getting some of the GoFundMe money. And that's how that shoe came into play. Hey, Jamie, welcome. Jamie said, I have two daughters, 3 and 9. Their daddy passed away 2 years ago. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm literally scared to date. There's some evil man who prey on women with children. Them twins are colorist, low self-esteem. There's some girl, they're a mess. They're a mess. And well, I can't even ask the question, who raised them hoes? Because we see. Miss Jackson can work this through those 300 hours of video straight out the window. Lebec, Annette, and Range, like I say, ain't no tight ship. The only thing tight was that bitch wig. Kenyatta says, I don't understand. Why don't Detroit abide by the rules and the laws? Something is wrong, sis. Something is terribly wrong in Detroit. But y'all know MOCA came out of here and did what MOCA had to do. But I want y'all to be honest with me before we even get up out of here tonight. How many of y'all believe? How many of y'all feel that between that shop and Annette's home, that these children were being trained for something bigger? If you believe that, if you feel they were being trained for something deeper and darker for them to profit from, between Annette's home and that shop, flood this bitch with some caution signs, tears, something, because these children didn't deserve this. These children didn't deserve it. Between those two places, with all these grown ass men attached to these little girls, this breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to even try to envision what those children went through. And to know their raggedy ass grandmother sat there, allowed it. She saw it. I see y'all. I see y'all. I see y'all. But we're going to get out of here. MOCA came and done what MOCA needed to do. And I love each and every one of y'all for rocking with the channel the way that y'all do. Big Mama, exactly. See what you're saying? Jarvis did have NAZIYAH out there trying to recruit other girls. But we gonna keep watching this. We gonna keep paying attention to this. And we definitely gonna keep asking questions. Because one thing about it, and two things for sure, is stuff like this just don't sit right with MOCA and the NOLA Bells. And I know I ain't the only one seeing that. I know I ain't the only one seeing that. I love you all. Replay gang, I see y'all too. You guys have not yet hit that like button. Hit the like button for your girl. On the way out, make sure you share the live. Tap those emojis a couple of times for your girl. We're going to leave out of here with prayer hands and hearts for these children, because we can't keep losing them like this. And the sad part is we are losing them at the hands of their mothers and their grandmothers, people who are supposed to love, care, and nurture them. All because they want a man. Thank you, Portia. Thank you, boo. I love you all. God bless each and every one of you all. Keep your notifications set, because y'all just never know when MOCA popping up. But she's popping up. God bless each and every one of you all. Good night. Good night.
We stand tall, we rise as one. No bells, the work ain't done. No. Motivated from the heart, never run. Truth and care in everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. Team full of truth and a chat full of cheer. MOCA in the seat, steady steering the ship. Every topic got depth, every comment got grip. We don't tear folks down, we just build them up. If you're moving off love, then you one of us. NOLA pride in the room and the vibe so loud. Every bell in the check gon' rep that crowd. We stand tall. One mic, one tribe, one mission in mind. We protect what's right and we hold that line. It's the chat where the truth and the love collide, where the voices don't hide and the pain gets light. We see you, we feel you, we fight for the cause. Every kid, every tear, we break down walls. When you hear that bell, that's the call to act. We family now, and that's just facts. We stand tall, we rise as one. Blow the bells, the work ain't done. Leading from the heart, never run. Truth and care are everything we become. It's more than a vibe, it's a home, it's a call. Over here we catch each other when we fall. This is family. This one's for every voice we fight for and every child who needs to be heard. We see you, we feel you. We stand with the truth. This is the Know the Bells. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Stand tall. Join the family.
Good night, everyone. God bless.